because I was just about one space away for able to actually go to that particular gate, and exponentially, in addition to get rid of the actual skeleton key which I no longer need anymore, I'm also gonna give myself another freebie item in during Give Me a Break minigame, as you know. But either way, pull a brake to stop the circulating locomotive and get the item that stops in front of you. So it's one pointing out right away, because either way though, that is one pointing out with the instructions, you know, of how usually just how this game plays out. So anyways, let's see what item I'm going to be getting. Once again, I've managed to grow myself a skeleton key again. Gee, no wonder why I keep on getting those things. Even though originally I was gonna go for that particular mushroom or the golden mushroom, but I didn't seem to able to get my chance to able to get them. But oh well, bigger sales can be choosers, I suppose. But anyway, another 4-player minigame. Let's see what we're gonna be playing. Platform Peril. I think this is a returning Mario Party 1 minigame, returning to this particular minigame. So, jump across the platforms that fall from the sky as you race to be the first to cross the finish line. So, again, if you haven't played Mario Party variation before, or to be more specifically Mario Party 1, you know exactly how this plays out. Except the fact that this one's a little bit more intense and fun at the same time, just because in addition to able to come across into the usual platforms, we also now come across into conveyor belts as well as those moving platforms in particular, so it just makes everything else a little bit more funner than the ones in the original. Well, don't get me wrong, I don't mind the original Platform Peril as much, but it's just the fact that this one's a little bit more funner and intense version of that particular minigame. But anyway, let's see if we can able to... Oh, what? How come Luigi made it there first before me? Jeez, that was a bit unfair. At least unlike Mario Party 1, that I simply managed able to done that particular minigame no problem, but the thing is about that particular version sometimes, well, to be more specifically, this variation of Platform Peril sometimes, the only trickiest thing about this is the fact that you have to be so dead on with your jumps. Or to be more specifically, when if you get towards that particular, you know, the conveyor belt section. So either way though, well, yeah, that's all I can get. I suppose another thing I should probably explain about this is the fact that, recently I've managed to able to, well, speaking of which, in terms of Super Mario 3D All-Stars, well, recently I've managed to recently completed, Super Mario 3D All-Stars, including 64, Sunshine, and Galaxy. To be more specifically, Mario's playthrough as well as Luigi's playthrough, both 100%, and I think, fundamentally speaking, I've almost spent about 35 hours in the entire compilation. I think it's pretty obvious because since I've already experienced the original versions of these 3 games from before, but I somehow managed able to done a lot of, like, speed up sometimes, even especially noticeable in terms of likely Super Mario Sunshine, as well as the forms of Super Mario Galaxy / Super Luigi Galaxy at the same time, just because I know exactly what to expect. And also the same applies to Super Mario 64 as well, specifically the Shendu version because of the second Japanese re-release, or the second Japanese release I should say. So either way though, let's see what Mario's gonna get. He doesn't get any items, although originally he was gonna go after the Boo Bell, but unfortunately though, due to the forms of the bad timing of that particular, well, for that particular minigame as a result, so I'm afraid to tell you that he doesn't seem to get that item, so... Alright, Honeycomb Havoc. I think this is a new minigame we're going to be playing through, as far as I'm guessing this correctly, so yeah, this is the one. Hit the block, and then take as many fruits as the number shown, avoid the honeycomb to be the last one left. And if you couldn't tell already, this minigame makes a comeback in Mario Party The Top 100. So, I don't mind this, but it's just the fact that it's kind of hard to win sometimes. I mean, you see what I mean whenever we are continuously playing through this particular Honeycomb Havoc. And it's also kind of longish as well. So even then though, because chances are there's gonna be a lot of times that we might able to actually just to wait for a bit or anything like that. And I would guarantee to able to get my coin. But the thing is, I'm pretty sure the three of them... Oh, no way. It looks like I think DK might able to get out. So, yeah, I do apologize for the actual commentary for the sake of point for this point, folks. But eventually, whenever we get towards the end of this board, I might able to actually show you the differences between the English version as well as the Japanese release of the game. Like, I'm sure most people already know what I'm talking about, but either way though, we'll come across into that until later. And unfortunately, I think I might able to actually get myself screwed because, well, I'm pretty sure Mario will able to hit a 1, and I think Luigi also hits a 1 as well. So, yeah, looks like I'm screwed, so... Oh well. At least the uniforms of the top 100 version is the fact that, well, it plays out pretty much exactly the same. Now, I do apologize if you couldn't tell from the background right there, because I think Mario managed to able to, well, decide to clean up the windows, because, well, in the past few days, that the weather itself has gone pretty bad, and as a result, that we could potentially try to able to actually just to saw these little remainings of the actual raindrops from the actual thing itself. So I do apologize for this point, guys, but I'm pretty sure that Mario doesn't mind that much. So either way though, speaking of Mario, he did win this particular minigame by, you know, a little bit of strategy and stuff like that. So I guess that makes it super insufficient right there. Alright, so we're on turn 14 already, so I'm quite surprised that we're actually bracing for this board quite well actually. So even then though, well, despite the forms of some mediocre start, but then eventually until later on that I seem to able to actually just to hold up my coin star for no problem. So talking of which actually is the fact that, well, another thing is worth mentioning for is the fact that recently I keep on playing Super Mario Bros. 35 recently, and oh man, the competitive players are actually getting a little bit more intense to beat this time around, because whenever I managed the first time I played the game back in the, well, the 1st of October, exponentially, and because of this though, oh man, I actually did manage to come in first place whenever first time I played the game, but then eventually, whenever I move on to the new rankings and all that stuff though, oh man, I seriously got owned by any other opponents around the world. Anyway, it's a dash through the dungeon. Teammates must tilt their control stick at the same time to move ahead. Avoid enemies that block the path. And this minigame right here, Dungeon Dash, it's more likely specifically sort of like a similar minigame as if you remember from Mario Party 1. In this case, Desert Dash. The biggest difference is this time is the fact that obviously rather than taking place in the actual outskirts of the desert, instead we need to go into the actual dungeon itself. And obviously we need to get out of there before, well, the other teammates can. Although there are another differences as well, that we now have to avoid the fireball. And although the thwomp itself is still present, which, if you stand right underneath it, well, as you can tell from, oh, Mario and Luigi did manage to dodge that. And also, this is another one of those unlockable minigames you have to unlock during the forms of, well, later on throughout the game. I believe, in order to able to unlock this particular minigame, I'm pretty sure you do need to able to get, you have to complete, minigame coaster on normal mode, although I may be wrong, but even then though, let me know in the comments below, because it has been a while since I actually did manage to play Mario Party 2, just because, well, I pretty much exactly know of what the conditions are, but either way though, looks like DK is gonna get himself the star now, so, and I think he also decides to meet up with Bowser again, or maybe, I don't know, it has been a while since I actually done a lot of, you know, commentary every once in a while, just because, well, I was busy playing certain things. To be more specifically, you know, Super Mario 3D All-Stars, which I recently completed, and also, well, just do some bit of competitive play for Super Mario Bros. 35, which I gotta say, I actually had a really blast playing on it. Even though it's kind of a shame that much like, you know, Super Mario 3D All-Stars, as well as Super Mario Bros. Game & Watch handheld console. This is also another one of those limited run in terms of like getting the game and all that stuff, because when it gets to the point until, you know, April Fool's Day in next year, or in this case the 1st of April, you're no longer actually trying to able to buy the game, or download the game I should say. Luckily it's for free by the way, so that way you can able to get your opportunities to able to actually get yourself some fun, you know, competitive Mario Brothers or Super Mario Brothers Battle Royale kind of style. So yeah, you can able to actually just to do that. Although, again, in order to able to play that game is the fact that you have to able to actually access to Nintendo Switch Online membership, so... Alright, so Looney Lumberjacks, another new minigame we're gonna be playing. So, teammates must cooperate to cut the roll log. If you both pull at the same time, the saw won't budge. And this is another one of those minigames that make a comeback in Mario Party the Top 100. Which I'm glad that was the case, because this minigame is actually pretty easy if you manage to get the hang of this though. Especially noticeable how the fact that you have to press A and B alternatively, and that way you would be able to actually just well, budge the actual saw around. So, and in fact we actually did this no problem. So definitely one of the easiest 2 versus 2 minigame, along with the any other minigames I can think of. But hey, at least we did manage to able to conquer that, no problemo. And immediately after that, we go into the last 5 turns already, so even then though, and looks like I'm in 1st, Luigi's in 2nd, DK was in 3rd, and Mario is in 4th, so... Oh, what do we have here? We have a Womp, and it's gonna grant us, or grant Mario, 10 coins. So, how's that for that? I don't know if it's like a rare occurrence where basically it sometimes managed to pop up Koopa Troopa or Womp occasionally, but either way though, that's all I can think about this for the sake of time. And I do apologize for that background noise you'd be hearing, also because, well, most of my dogs keeps on barking all the time, so I must admit that I do apologize for that. I will quiet them down at some point after I'm done with this, but I'm sure enough though is the fact that Daffy or Sonic or Tiana managed to calm them down. Especially noticeable that it always happens every time whenever I'm just trying to able to, well, not only just trying to go out, but also whenever we're in post-mail, they manage to come along, and eventually they just comes off as like they always trying to go for like a bark alarm. Seriously, it always reminds me of that particular scene from 101 Dalmatians. Not only that, but 101 Dalmatians 2, whenever they managed to did a Twilight bark, whenever there was something in trouble. To be more specifically, the most commonly of them all is the fact that the all 99 puppies is being kidnapped by the likes of, you know, Cruella de Vil. Which is pretty obvious for that simple premise and stuff like that, so... Okay, so looks like Mario managed to got himself his star now, which is good for him. And I don't know about you, but I'm pretty darn sure that although he doesn't have enough coins to able to steal a star from this point yet, which I'm hoping he doesn't, so... Okay, so Title Driver, I think we've already played this one before, so even then though... Again, my brain has gone a bit, you know, torn apart after realizing about the fact that for trying to memorize which one of the minigames we haven't exactly played yet. But either way though, that's all I can really think about it, because, you know, I'm basically just gone bonkers for that particular memorizations and stuff. But anyway though, let's go ahead and just create a Koopa picture, which thankfully for me, it was actually pretty easy because that way I can able to just do it a little bit faster and such. Okay, something's worth noticing for this point as well, eventually at this point, is the fact that the Spider-Man, let's just say Miles, models, you know, the sequel to the Marvel's Spider-Man game, I think in addition to able to came out on the PlayStation 5, I think it's like next week or something, but then again though, it has been a while since I actually did done some news of PlayStation 5 news updates and all that stuff. But also it also managed to include the PlayStation 4 version as well. So, and also to top it off is the fact that in the forms of in the PlayStation 5 owners, managed to able to receive a deluxe version, which in addition to having themselves, you know, the sequel to Marvel's Spider-Man, Miles Morales, but also it actually includes the remastered version of the already existed Marvel's Spider-Man game already. So, oh crap, hold on. Ah, come on. Come on, break free. Okay, let's see how many coins he's gonna get. 22. Jeez. But still, I'm in a coin star lead at the moment, so I don't have to worry about this too much about it. But Mario did manage to land on the happening space, and I think I get the strong sense of feeling that I seem to manage to dodge that particular train for about one space away from it. Is it true? Yes, I did. Whew, that was actually pretty close, because if I somehow manage to get knocked off by the train, I have to go all the way back to the actual board. I mean, that would be not that fun. Anyways, we have Balloon Burst, which I think is another Mario Party 1 minigame returning here. Press the A and Z buttons alternatively to pump the Bowser balloon until it bursts. You can also use B instead of Z. It's been like the forms of the Mario Party 1 counterparts, except rather than just competing for, let's just say, a 4-player minigame, instead now this is actually a 2 versus 2 minigame, so... But usually, relatively speaking, it plays exactly the same, except with the actual different minigame catalog now, so... I actually kinda like that, because either way though, you know, just makes a little bit more intensity and stuff like that. It's hard to explain about it sometimes, because, again, as I mentioned this before, I do apologize for that particular commentary. It's gone a little bit, you know, meh or mediocre, but still, I can usually cope with it. Alright, so let's see how many turns we got left. We got last 3 turns already. I'm quite surprised about the fact that, oh, looks like Luigi's gonna go for, another item game and stuff like that. And, wow, would you look at that? We got ourselves a magic lamp. And also the Bowser suit as well. So even then though, I wonder what item he's gonna go for. Even though, relatively speaking, is the fact that, usually for Bowser's suit as well as the magic lamp, those items are extremely rare in this game. Although eventually in Mario Party 3, as well as Mario Party 4, although not so much in Bowser's suit in Mario Party 4, but, excuse me, for the likes of Mario Party 3, you can get yourselves a Bowser suit for more common, and then also same applies to that magic lamp as well. For Mario Party 3 and 4, you can able to actually get the magic lamp so commonly. But as far as Mario Party 2 is concerned, oh, hold on a minute, let me just do my button mashing sequence right here. Oh, jeez, why are they always trying to steal something from me? Oh, I get it, because I've managed to get the most coins out of everyone, so... I guess that makes it pretty obvious, but that's for the sake of that particular clarity right there. Anyway, yeah, for the magic lamp in this game, Mario Party 2, it seems it's kind of rare, because, well, I don't know if it's possible you can able to actually purchase that magic lamp in certain, item shops, but to be more specifically, just to get the actual magic lamp, you have to specifically try to play through the item minigames as what Mario just landed on right now. And, hopefully by the time until next turn, I would able to actually steal a star from somebody, so hopefully I might as well give my chance to able to actually decide able to catch up for, you know, just trying to be the superstar in this board, so even then, and plus, this is one of my, favorite boards of the game. Although, usually as I said this before, this is my second favorite board, next to, the other one, which we'll, get to that until, you know, the next few weekends later, so because of that, though, there's not much else to talk about. Speaking of which, today's upload for this point today is of course the 15th of November, so there's not much else to talk about, so... Alright, Dizzy Dancing. I think this is another one of those minigames that we haven't exactly played yet, so this seems interesting enough. The record spins and spins, and so does your head. Be the first of the Dizzy Dancers to grab the floating musical note. And this makes a comeback in Mario Party the Top 100, by the way. The only differences between these two variations of this minigame, like both this and the Top 100 version, is that in the original version of Dizzy Dancing minigame is the fact that your goal is pretty simple. You have to make it to the musical notes, and that's all you have to really do right there. Whilst unlike the Top 100 version, this is all score based. Because exponentially is the fact that you can able to actually collect God knows how many musical notes you can able to get. And then the game will end until when you get yourselves the highest amount of those musical notes until the game is over. So yeah, this is how the Bowser suit looks like in Mario Party 2. Basically, if you manage to use that, you'll become an evil version of yourself. And then, if you manage to bypass one of those players, I don't really think that Luigi's gonna make it. But what happens is the fact that whenever you meet up with most of these players with the Bowser suit on, if you manage to get itself equipped, you're able to actually take 20 coins out of them. So, yeah, it's one to classify that, so... But unfortunately, Luigi doesn't catch up, I'm afraid. So, even then, we didn't get a chance to see that while it's happening. So, anyways, let's see if we can get a higher roll from here. Ah, you kidding me? Now is my only chance for the last turn. Well, I'm really hoping that the last turn will go off pretty well. At least I hope so, anyway. Okay, so Mario's gonna go to the battle minigame space. And let's see how many coins there... 30?! Jesus Christ, that's disgusting! Oh jeez. Let's see if we get ourselves a good minigame. Okay, bumper balloon cars. I think we've already technically played this before, or maybe if we not, but I think this is the one we have not played yet. So, usual cars, spiked front to bust opponents, balloons, tilt your control stick up to move forward, and then, you know, and down to move backwards. So, this is the minigame we have not played yet. Again, I do apologize for the commentary for this point, guys. I must admit, though, because, again, yeah, it's been a while since I've actually done some of these commentary. Oh, wow. I simply managed to win by almost like a good, steady driving skills. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Especially noticeable, I've managed to get myself 84 coins. That's quite a lot of coins I've managed to gather. Even for able to, like, win that particular minigame after all. Alright, another 2 versus 2, so let's see what we can get. Torpedo Targets. I think this is another one of those minigames we haven't exactly played yet, so good opportunity to play this as well. The submarine pilot and torpedo launcher must cooperate to hit as many targets as possible. Think of like Super Smash Bros. Break the Target, except rather than just doing a lot of platforming, instead we have to use the submarine to, you know, just hit the target by simply using a torpedo. And luckily for me, I'm going to be doing the easiest job out of all these 2 jobs, which appears to be the actual torpedo launching itself. Because to me, the problem with this minigame to me sometimes is the fact that the piloting the submarine is actually a lot trickier and difficult. Which you definitely know why whenever we get on to, exponentially if I was going to be able to deal with the actual, the driving rather than just utilizing the torpedoes themselves. So, just want to classify that, so... And you know, there's not much else I can say, honestly guys, because of how the fact that, well, exponentially also, we've only got about 5 more days left until, specifically, when New Super Mario Bros. Wii will be 11 years old, according to that particular release date. Well, to be more specifically, the UK version, because I don't know when the North American version... Oh wow, I simply managed to able to dominate it. Oh wow, 2 targets in a row for that... in exactly the same spot. Wow. That's interesting, actually. But anyway, enough about that, and hopefully the last turn will go alright and such. I think it's my opportunity to able to steal a star now because, well, I just got a lot of coins as you can see, 188. Thankfully though, Luigi got a lot of coins, to be more specifically 25 to be exact. You got very lucky in the end anyway. But I don't think you can able to catch up on that particular you know, the Coinstar lead, because I'm still in a Coinstar lead as it is, so... Alright, so DK doesn't seem to get a good rolls, I'm afraid, for the sake of that golden mushroom, because, well, he just obviously got 6, 1, and 2, and that makes 9, so I don't think he can able to catch up, so give me anything but 1, please. Thank you. I'm fine with 2, especially noticeable I can land on the happening space, and to make matters even interesting is the fact that I might as well go all the way back to the very beginning of the board, so it's kind of a shame we didn't see that particular duel minigame either, especially noticeable how the fact that just like in Pirate Land, unfortunately we didn't seem to able to get ourselves the opportunity to show off, you know, a duel minigame on this board. But again, as far as what I established out earlier, is the fact that if we somehow missing some of these minigames, we'll able to actually check out the minigame park video at some point. In addition to that particular special minigame to top it off, but we'll point it out whenever we get into it, so... Alright, so Mario's gonna use the golden mushroom as well, and wow, his rolls is actually really good compared to DK's rolls, because DK managed to get himself these rubbish rolls, as you can tell. And it looks like Mario's gonna give me a payback, and he was gonna able to receive his star back. Because I did manage to steal a star from him, so, or steal a star from Mario, so either way though, we'll gonna have to deal with the actual equal amount of stars at this point. Even though exponentially as well, that's, you know, we'll have to deal with the actual bonus stars to top it off as well, as most people already noticed, so... And no hidden blocks, so I guess that makes it a little bit more, not so surprised, but either way though, we're just gonna have to leave it to that. Oh, come on, Sneak and Snore. I think there's another one of those new minigames we're gonna be playing, or is it just the already existing minigame? I think this is the new one. Sneak to the red button and out the door while Chain Chomp snores. Hide in a barrel if he awakes. So, yeah, this is without a doubt, in my opinion, this is one of the most difficult 4-player minigames in this entire game. Okay, so let's see what we got. Alright. Oh, dang it! I got caught. Hey. I think that's why most people think this is the most infamous minigame in the entire game, because the problem with that particular minigame is the fact that, well, you have to be so sensitive with that particular control stick movements. And if you somehow manage to get caught without even realize that Chain Chomp is fully awakened, then you're pretty much gonna be out for the whole entire minigame. So, yeah, you see what I mean, and so whenever we get on to, if we manage to come across into that minigame again, like, multiple times. But anyways, let's see the actual final results, and every one of us managed to get a star each. And to top it off, I actually got the most coins. So, let's see, the bonus stars, minigame star, you know exactly who this goes to? Me. Because I'm the gods in terms of minigames. And of course, the coin star, I managed to get this because I got the most coins. I don't know about the happening star though. I don't know who exactly is he gonna get though. And it looks like Luigi and Mario both got the happening star. Okay, that seems cool and all for them. And I have no idea what's up with Luigi's animation right there. But anyway. Okay, I just want to point things out right away is the fact that I'm going to be able to show you guys what's the difference between the Japanese release of the game compared to the English version. So to start things off, here's the Japanese release of the game that, as you can tell from the actual epilogue in Western Land, as you can see, well, obviously Bowser's going to be able to be stealing something from the bank. But, obviously, as you can tell, this is not me, by the way. This is from, the footage from someone else. Because, well, I didn't actually access to the Japanese emulator N64 stuff. So, anyways, this is what happens right here in the Japanese release of this particular ending. Basically, rather than just having ourselves the yellow gun, instead, they got themselves the actual regular guns. And also the background is actually a lot different, too. Like, specifically, it goes all orange and yellow, and Bowser dies at the end. And the English version, on the other hand, specifically the English NTSC American version, as well as the PAL version of the game, obviously the gun itself has now managed to get itself its different color, and also the actual draw sequence is actually a bit different. And as you can see, I'm now somehow managed to win. So in this case, well, let's just watch this particular intense draw sequence. And obviously Koopa's gonna hide himself in his shell. And this is what happens if you manage to play the American version as well as the European version. Obviously, if you couldn't tell, the background itself is actually a lot more bluish and even purplish at the same time. And also, rather than using regular guns as you saw in the Japanese version of this game, but rather the forms of the pop guns. To be more specifically though, because, well, we just don't want to let children see anyone else dies during that particular point. So it's interesting to notice because either way though, that was the only differences I can think of. There are some other differences as well, but we'll point it out whenever we get onto the final board of the game, which is of course Bowser Land, but it wasn't until later on throughout the majority of the whole year, so... Anyways, let's check out the detailed results before we move on to the next board until likely next weekend. I pretty much guarantee I did manage to conquer this all. Wow, DK almost really catch up to me. Although, to be fair, because of the teammates type of minigames, as you know. Oh, me and DK were off by 1, and Luigi and Mario managed to get the Happening Star. If you somehow managed to get, like, the exact same amount of Happening Spaces, imagine the fact that if we landed on 2 Happening Spaces all at once, basically we won't get ourselves the Happening Star. Because if it's a 4-way tie, the judge or the host won't give you a bonus star if all 4 players manage to get the exact same amount. So I just want to classify that. So anyways, speaking of such, we got the endings off at this point right here. So join me next time on Let's Play Mario Party 2. It's the fact that we are about to be moving on to the 3rd board in this game, which appears to be Spaceland. So this will be pretty exciting, especially noticeable how the fact that you guys may be looking forward to that. So I'll see you guys until on next Saturday. So yeah, later fellas.